this video we are looking at the fetal skull dimensions. So first, to start with the questions, the first question is, what is the mento-vertical diameter? So we want to know the length as well as the presentation. The second question is, what is the sub-occipito-bregmatic diameter? So we want to know again the length and the presentation. The third question is, talk about the sub-mento-vertical. So in this video, we'll find out the answers to all these questions, and in the end of the video, there are some bonus questions. So first, we talk about the submento-bregmatic. So the submento-bregmatic, it is known from where it is, that is submento to the bregmatic. And now we look at the length. The length here is 9.5 centimeters. And what is the presentation? The presentation is the face. Then we look at the occipito-frontal, or before that we will look at the mento-vertical. So what is the mento-vertical? It is the 14 centimeters. And what about the presentation? Presentation is the brow. Then the third one, we are looking at the occipito-frontal. So here it is length is 11.5 centimeters. And what is the presentation? Presentation is the vertex. Next we look at the sub-occipito-bregmatic. What is the sub-occipito-bregmatic? So here the length is 9.5 centimeters and presentation is the vertex. Then we look at the sub-occipito-frontal. What is the sub-occipito-frontal? So the sub-occipito-frontal means that the length is 10 centimeters and the presentation is the vertex. Lastly, we will look at the submento-vertical. What is the submento-vertical? So submento-vertical, the length here is 11.5 centimeters and the presentation is nothing but the face is the presentation. The other things to notice, important points, is that what about the shortest diameters? This can be asked. The shortest diameter is, firstly, it is the bimastoid. Bimastoid is the shortest, that is, it is 7.5 centimeters and it doesn't engage, and it is less than the bitemporal. So bitemporal is nothing but the 8 centimeters. Next, we are looking at the longest diameter. So what is the longest diameter? The longest diameter of the fetal skull, it is the mento-vertical. It is the mento-vertical. And the mento-vertical is nothing but 14 centimeter. So this is greater than the submento-vertical, submento-vertical, as well as the occipito-frontal, and this is nothing but 11.5 centimeters. So now we go on to answering our questions. So answers. So the first question we asked was, what is the mento-vertical? What is mento-vertical. So if you look at mento-vertical, it is the length is 14 centimeters and the presentation is nothing but the bro. The second question is, what is the sub-occipito-bregmatic? So in case of sub-occipito-bregmatic, the length is 9.5 centimeters and the presentation is the vertex is the sub-occipito-bregmatic. And the third question was, what is the submento-vertical? The submento-vertical is nothing but it is 11.5 centimeters and the presentation is the face. So now we are going to ask some bonus questions and it can be answered in the comments. So the bonus questions, the first question we would like to ask is, what is the submento-bregmatic? What is a submento-bregmatic? The second question is, what is the occipitofrontal? What is the occipitofrontal? The third question we would like to ask is, what is the suboccipitofrontal? So these questions can be answered in the comments.